7, got 7. Wow.
Hey you guys, it's Frank the Tank, and that was the Proton Physics Part 2. So, if you can recall, I did say that I was going to go around for a second time because my Part 1 Proton Physics video, it didn't really turn out the way I had hoped. I had put a layout on the ball that matched the layout that was on the astrophysics video where I shot my first 300, and I thought, okay, so maybe I should take that layout, put it on this one, and I think it should work. And it ended up doing something that I did not like. It made the ball way too snappy, and it made it difficult to manage, and I just didn't like it. So with that, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do this again, and this time I'm going to put on a layout that makes the ball a lot less snappier on the back end. And here we are with part 2. So yeah, that's when I told my pro shop guy, like, listen, this layout for this ball, it's not what I want to see. It made it too snappy. And he was like, okay, so if you're looking to take the snap out of the ball, then let's try this layout. And that's what led to this 80 by 4 by 30 layout. One of the other layouts that I use from time to time, I don't use it a whole lot, is 75 by 5 by 45. That puts the pin in almost like in the exact same spot as you can see with this Proton Physics. I think it brings the pin just a little bit lower though. And yeah, but it keeps it like right there up above the ring finger and to the right of it. But it keeps the mass bias under the ring finger. So that allows for you to be more on the right side of the lane. It doesn't allow the ball to really hook a lot. And this 80 by 4 by 30 layout that was on this Proton Physics is actually a much softer version of the 75 by 5 by 45 layout. And indeed, we did see that in this video because you could see the ball was not as snappy, and it made it look like it was responding a lot later than it usually does, because this ball, it's early. You can tell by the numbers too, and even if you're not good at reading the numbers, you can just if you really look, you can see this ball responds early and it's obviously very aggressive. But thanks to this layout, we took the snappiness out of it, and it just made it look like it was not hooking a lot. And I was standing on board 20, so that's a big one right there. I was definitely on the right side of the lane with a high performance asymmetrical bowling ball. So any of you out there who are looking for some weak layouts, try to keep this one in mind because it totally works. So in the Proton Physics Part 1 video, that layout, the pin above the bridge and mass bias over to the right, it makes the ball it makes the ball flare like crazy. It maximizes your flare. And for that video, I was standing on board 25, and here in this video, I was standing on board 20, so I had a big difference there, a 5 board difference. So yeah, I guess we can say mission accomplished with what I wanted achieved here, and that was taking the snappiness out of the bowling ball. And yeah, I mean, it was surprisingly, I thought it was going to be difficult, but it was surprisingly pretty easy. Except for the game 3, that became evidently clear that this kind of layout on this ball, it just doesn't work. It's not the ball, it's the layout. So I guess I can say after that that if you're going to use a layout like this, play at your normal pace. Don't try to hook the entire lane with a bowling ball if you have this layout on it, because it's not going to work. Again, keep in mind, this is a high performance asymmetrical ball, so technically it should, really make its way back, but it didn't. You could see it looked like it was like the ball would die out and it would just struggle to make its way back around the corner. So I know one mistake that I made with that was that I was probably too far right for that, and I probably should have moved more in and kept the speed at a low. But too late for me to make the change now. I can't take it back, so I guess it is what it is. So just when I thought that the mission was completed, I was wrong. We are far from finished here. Also, for 2 reasons. Number one, I will admit, as much as it was great to achieve taking the snappiness out of this Proton Physics, I still am not happy with the result. And, I feel personally that this ball just needs to hook. It just didn't... It didn't feel good. I didn't really like it, even though, the snappiness was taken out of the ball. I just didn't like it. I feel like I just really need to see this ball hook. And that's what led me to reason number 2. It was like I don't know, like a vision, an epiphany or something. It hit me. Remember the layout that was on the solid flux? I believe here's actually, I need to make a correction actually. In that video, as you could see here, it said that I had an 85 by 4 1/4 by 50 layout, which it's actually not. The actual numbers for that layout on that solid flux were actually 75 by 3 3/4 by 35. So yeah, I kind of messed that one up a little bit, but my pro shop guy told me, no, don't worry, it's not a big deal, because the layout is still the same. It's just that the distance from the pin and the mass bias is just a little bit different. So, but it's still the same layout. It's just like, a bit of a difference, just a small difference. I don't really remember what he said. I'm gonna have to ask him again what the differences are between 85 by 4 1/4 by 50 and that layout that I just named right now. So, but anyway, the thought was, what if I took this layout, like this 85 by 4 1/4 by 50 layout, and applied it to this Proton Physics? Would it give me what I want? The reason I say all of this is because 85 by 4 1/4 by 50 is like my main go-to layout. This is the layout that I love to go for. And this proton physics, I'm fully convinced that I can make it work for me. I mean, it should technically be a match made in heaven. I mean, it's got my favorite cover, NEX Solid, next to the NEX Pearl that they put on the Axiom Pearl. And it's got the atomic core, the same core that was inside the astrophysics. Again, need I remind you, I shot 300 with the astrophysics. So, favorite core, well, not necessarily favorite core, but a core that got me a perfect game. And my favorite cover, it should be a match made in heaven. Now I need to take that and combine it with my main go-to layout. It's gotta work. I'm convinced that that will work. Having said all of that, we're going to go around for a third time. So I'm going to obtain another proton physics, and we are going to make these changes. So expect proton physics part 3. This mission is not over yet. So, yeah. To be continued, I guess we can say. So anyway, that's all I've got to say on this one. Proton Physics Part 2 completed. We move on, and I don't know when we'll do the Proton Physics Part 3, but be on the lookout for it. So I'm Frank the Tank. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you all for watching.